You understand what you're doing to the entire planet.
I know, it's just terrible. It's suffocating and choking our waterways, our air, our soil.
Plastic है ये बाबा plastic है ये इससे बचाओ हमें plastic है ये.
Out of many materials that we have developed on this planet, plastic is one of the most fantastic materials. I know a whole lot of people will get against me for this. I am saying this because a material that can be recycled thousands of times over and over again is a perfect material to make sure that what we use is in a cycle, that we don't have to continuously dig something new. We can use the same material for centuries if we handle it right. But we have handled it so irresponsibly, such a wonderful material has become poisonous, it has entered everything. If it has to change quickly, law has to come into place. That is why we are looking at single-use plastic ban.
Sadhguru is my man. For a very simple reason, he brings together the two necessary perspectives, the change of the individual and the change of society and economics and politics. So I think there is no doubt we need to change. We need to change for the sake of Mother Earth, we need to change for the sake of the animal kingdom, but we need to change for the sake of ourselves.
We at the United Nations Environment Programme are encouraging and urging everyone to stop the use of single-use plastics.
We have to find solutions which will go with the existing polluting businesses. It's very important. Those businesses which are the major factors of pollution, we have to transform them, making sure their businesses are not destroyed, but transformed to a more ecologically sensitive way of operation. This has to be looked at on all levels. You can just tell a local vendor, you can't use plastic. What is he supposed to use? We must go and tell him, this is what you can use, what is the alternate product. This is a promise, you are wearing the mask to express that we will not make this little girl suffocate in future. We are going to create a better climate for her.
इससे बचाओ हमें plastic है ये plastic है ये बाबा plastic है ये इससे बचाओ हमें plastic है ये.
Sadhguru, you mentioned that you can do 14 different activities at a given moment. So, we all are very curious to know how can we achieve such prowess over both body and mind?
Oh, whoever said this, right? Do you have a liver?
Yes, I do.
Functioning?
Yes.
Do you know how many levels of activity it's doing right now? What the liver is doing is far more complex than what your brains are doing right now, do you know this? A brainless liver, if it can do so many things, a brained Praneeth, how many things? No, I was only talking about not activity per se. Yes, activity is also possible. You must understand this. On a round planet which is spinning right now, hello? Are you on a round planet? Spinning? Most people don't understand this unless, they get sozzled out with something or they get some ailment. Suddenly you see, planet is round. Do you know how complex an activity it is for a human being to walk at a certain latitude on a round planet which is spinning and which has magnetic forces working upon you all the time? It's an extremely complex process. You ask a child who is, let's say, 1 year of age, he knows how complex it is. Have you seen? But the moment you learn to walk, you assume that it's nothing, walking is nothing and you're sick of walking, you want to drive a car, you want to ride a motorcycle. But walking is such a complex process, not 14. 1,000 different functions, your knees and your brains and the fluids in your body, all of them are doing all the time. If only you could conduct these things consciously, you would be doing 1,000 things. Anyway, you're doing it. But if you could conduct this consciously, you would do 1,000 things at a time. So I was only talking about different channels of mind, which you don't have to actually conduct, you just have to initiate and leave. It will go on. For you to think about your neighborhood girl, do you have to initiate action every time? No. Once you look at her, it just goes on by itself. Why? Because you're drawn to it. If you're drawn to 10 different things at the same time, mind is capable of creating 10 different channels and keep it running. A complex mathematical problem, a sensation, a music, some raga, this, that, 100 things at the same time, because that is how complex human mind is. This complexity you can use either to drive yourself crazy with unbridled thought and emotion, or if you harness it, it can do things that nobody has imagined possible. It can do things in a miraculous way. You can manifest things in a phenomenal way if the necessary training goes. If somebody is walking there, if you just look at them, how they're walking, you can make out whether they're physically fit or not. Yes or no? Body has been worked upon, you can see it or no, just by the walk. Similarly, whether the mind has been worked upon or not, whether your energies have been worked upon or not, is something that's visible. Most people may not see, but if you pay attention, you will see. Right now, most human beings, the problem is we gave you a super computer. The most sophisticated machine on this planet is this human mechanism. I am asking you, have you read the user's manual? Hello? No. When you're going to read it? On the last day? When I see this ridiculous stuff, people reading Gita when people are dying, I say, you're reading the user's manual on the last day, what's the point? If you buy a phone, should you read the user's manual in the first 3 days or after 3 years when you want to get rid of the phone? Huh? You must read it in the first 3 days. So I'm not asking you to read a scripture. Well, this is a living scripture. Should you not become competent to read this scripture, understand what is the nature of this, what is the full potential of it and explore this? Because this life is not about this or that. This life is about this. There is no choice about this. It is just that you can enslave this life to something else and think it's about that. But actually it's about this. Are you okay with this? You think right now your life is about education. No, your life is about this. You want this one educated, you want this one to do well, you want this one to experience love, you want this one to experience pleasure, you want this one to do all this. All the other things are only attendant things. This is the real thing, isn't it? So if this is the real thing, does this deserve some amount of attention? Some amount of attention means not standing in front of the mirror and attending to your skin endlessly. Should you not pay attention to every dimension of what this human being is made of? What makes this life tick? And how? If you understand what makes it tick, you can make it roar. If you make it roar, why 14 things? You can do many more. Namaskaram and Deepavali greetings and blessings to every one of you. Deepavali essentially means a festival of lights. Deepa means more a lamp. You must understand the significance of millions of lamps when there was no electricity in the evenings. What a spectacular experience it would be. Without electric lights, just oil lamps, when everybody lights up, it must have been so great. Why did this come about? There are many legends. One most common legend across the country is, this is the day that Krishna vanquished Narakasura. So that is why the Naraka Chaturdashi and then Deepavali. In some parts of northern India, people believe it is the day Rama came back to Ayodhya after 14 years of being in the forest. So, on that day to welcome Rama, all the citizens lit up lamps, and that's how Deepavali came into vogue. And there are many other smaller legends. Whatever the legend is, the simple thing is this, that human beings feel lit when certain clarity arises within themselves. So essentially, Deepavali is a symbol for victory of clarity over ignorance. Ignorance has always been referred to as darkness and clarity as light. So in that sense, Deepavali is about celebrating that possibility in human life. Well, if you were an owl, I'm not calling you one, if you were an owl, then light would be disturbing, darkness would be clarity for you. But for the human visual apparatus, darkness does not bring clarity, light brings clarity, so we symbolize light as clarity, as our ability to see, our ability to perceive, our ability to enhance our lives are dependent upon light. So hence, Deepavali is very, very important. You cannot really get rid of ignorance nor can you get rid of darkness. If this room is dark, you cannot go and kick this darkness out of this room. There's no such thing. The only way is to turn on the light. So this is the significance of light. Darkness is an absence of light. Darkness is not something that you can deal with. If you light up, then darkness is gone. If you want to dispel darkness, light is the only solution. This is why if you want to dispel your own darkness, enlightenment is the only solution. Enlightenment is the only solution. And everything related to one's realization, one's ability to perceive life in more profound ways, all related to light and darkness. For example, the word guru means gu and ru. Gu is darkness, ru is the dispeller. One who dispels your darkness is a guru. All spiritual terminology has something to do with light because clarity and light are related in our perception. What is the basis of ignorance? Why this need that one has to go beyond that? The basis of ignorance is not realizing the nature of our own existence. That is, once we have become human, one important thing is, we are human beings. That means we must know how to be. If you knew how to be, would you keep yourself blissful or miserable? Naturally blissful, this is your choice for yourself. The human being's ability to be has largely been censored or cut down because of the identifications that we take with our boundaries. So when we light, if one person brings a light into this room, everybody in this room will naturally experience this. This is the significance of light, that if we bring 5 lamps into this room, we will not experience only… This is not like your wealth, this is not like your money. If all of us come with $1 million in our pockets, we still have only 1 million, unless we put it together. But if all of us come with 5 lights, all of us have the impact of 5 lights upon our life. So this is the nature of light, this is the nature of consciousness. When you become conscious, all boundaries are eliminated. In this, there is evolution of a human being. In this, there is realization. In this, there is enlightenment. In this, there is joy and well-being for everybody around us. So on this Diwali, I wish all of you that at least you must do something very simple. Spend at least 20 minutes upon yourself to see how you can bring clarity. To bring clarity, first of all you have to identify the cobwebs of ignorance. What limits you? Identify that and see if you can take down one cobweb down, and you will see life will light up in many different ways. If you don't know how to do it by yourself, we are willing to provide you necessary tools so that you can pursue this on this Diwali day. I wish all of you the best that you can have in terms of your life's experience, and above all, let there be new light in your life. Namaskar. When 1% of your life, let us say, is conducted consciously and 99% accidentally, you must be shit scared of life, how else to live? So what are you fearful about? Something that will happen or you think will happen, isn't it? If you do not know anything about this, then you are an accidental being. You being fearful is good, otherwise you may cause enormous harm to yourself.
Namaskaram, Sadhguru. Many people say that thoughts create karma, and sometimes our biggest fears keep on recurring in our minds on a daily basis. So how do we stop that flow of thoughts, and how do we stop those fears from materializing, and also how to cut down on unwanted karma?
Whoa. See, this whole karma business has been very misunderstood and been projected as a fatalistic process. Karma means this, karma means action. Literally translates as action. As you sit here, there is physical activity going on, there is mental activity going on, there's emotional activity going on, there's energy activity going on. These four dimensions of karma are happening within you every moment of your life, both in wakefulness and in sleep, it's happening. Now if I ask you a question, since today morning, since you woke up to this moment, how much of these four dimensions of karma are you conducting consciously? How much do you think? Percentage? Well below 1%, believe me. It's way below 1%. When 1% of your life, let us say, is conducted consciously and 99% accidentally, you must be shit scared of life, how else to live? If you're driving a car and 99% it is accidental the way you're driving, will you be scared or not? So fear is a consequence of your inability to manage the nature of your intellect. See, your life's experience is happening this way. These are three dimensions. There is something called as memory, which feeds you all the time. Memory is not just what you remember. You don't remember 10 generations ago how your great-grandmother looked, do you? You don't, but her nose is sitting on your face, yes or no? You have genetic memory, you have evolutionary memory, you have karmic memory, articulate and inarticulate levels of memory. This entire thing is memory, head to toe. Every cell in the body is memory, isn't it? We can take one cell and create the whole of you, and that's how your parents also did. Just one cell, and see, you become like this. So, there is enormous amount of memory in this. This memory rules certain things, but there is a present experience. Memory is of the past, but the present is of experience, your ability to experience. If you want to experience anything, you must be conscious, you must be aware, only then you can experience. The future is an imagination. So memory, experience and imagination, it is between these three dimensions in which you exist. Memory you cannot change because it's already there. Present you don't have to change because that is also here right now. It's only the imagination which you can change. So what are you fearful about? Something that will happen or you think will happen, isn't it? Fear is always about something which does not exist right now, it's always about what will happen. So you are suffering that which does not exist. If you're suffering that which does not exist, there are psychiatric terms for that. Hello? Your only comfort is everybody is in the same state. That's how it is in asylum usually. Everybody's in the same condition, but right now people are in this condition. What happened 10 years ago, they can still suffer. What may happen day after tomorrow, they already suffer. They're suffering things which does not exist, simply because in your education system, you are studying about everything except how to manage this. If you do not know how to manage this, it doesn't matter how much nonsensical information you have gathered, it'll be not of much use to your life. You must know how to keep this, how to conduct this body, how to conduct this mind, how to conduct this emotional structure and the energy structure. If you do not know anything about this, then you are an accidental being. You being fearful is good, otherwise you may cause enormous harm to yourself.
Sadhguruji, you just mentioned love, and today it is about life and love, and I would like to know, for us it is maybe love your family members, whoever it could be. Why I ask you this is because there's so many versions of this, and I really want to get to it. Some teachers, some gurus, some guides will say, you know, you can love, but you must be detached. You must love, but it cannot be conditional. It should be unconditional. And so there's versions of it. I just want to know.
See,
so
the simple way of make you keep coming back to me is to give you something that you cannot do. To give you a teaching which you can never do. You must love, but you must be detached. Now you have to keep coming back to me for consultation, endlessly.
Sorry.
I'm saying throw yourself into your love affair and die into it, something will happen. Something worthwhile will happen if you're willing to die into the process. Not just anything, whether it's your work or your life or your love or whatever, if you do not know how to throw your entire self into it, you will never know the taste of what it is. Love but be detached. Why do you want to love then? Only because you want to include somebody as a part of your life, part of yourself, that's why you love. No, I love but I am detached. This means you have to come back to consultation every day, it's like a psychiatrist's job. Every day you have to come and sit on the couch. You need treatment and there is a fee.
So, okay, all right, so you can love and be attached.
No, I didn't say that.
Okay, I'm coming back for consultation, please. So what did you say?
I only said, see, what is this need for love in a human being? You must understand, a human being constantly, a human being is longing to be something more than what they are right now. If this finds a simple, basic physical expression, we call this sexuality. Sexuality means just this, physically you're trying to make something which is not you a part of yourself. For a few moments you may succeed. If you try this mentally, it gets labeled as greed, conquest, or maybe simply shopping. Some people go for conquest with swords and guns, some people go with checkbooks and cash, credit cards. The thing is, you want to include something which is not a part of you as yourself, that is the whole effort. Whether you want money or wealth or you want to occupy a nation, what is it? Something that is not you, you want to make it yours. Yours is an effort to make it a part of yourself. If it happens emotionally, on the emotional level if you try this, we call this a love affair. You're trying to make somebody who is not a part of you, a part of yourself emotionally. This is a love affair. If you do it consciously, we call this yoga. Yoga means union. So all these efforts are fine, everything has its own beauty but has its own limitations. When you understand the limitations of all the other methods, nothing right or wrong about it, it is just that it will work briefly, it will not work for always. When you realize that, you consciously try to include. When you consciously become an inclusive process, if you sit here, if you experience everything as yourself, then we say you're a yogi, okay? So, this is a love affair successful.
You said love, inclusiveness. I can't understand how I can love everybody in this room.
You cannot. There's some people you cannot love.
I can barely see up there and up there. So how is that? How do you include everybody in your love?
See, because you are looking at love as something that comes to you, or you yield to the process of love only because you appreciate a particular quality, a shape of somebody's nose, or the shape of their mind, or their thought, or their emotion, or the way they speak, or the way they do things, or the way they relate to you, something, okay? There are many things. It is based on something that is acceptable to you. If they do something that is not acceptable to you, love crumbles.
Yes.
Now what I'm saying is, I want you to look at this, whether love happens to you or hate happens to you, anger happens to you, misery happens to you, joy happens to you, it only happens within you, isn't it?
Yes.
It never… People say love is in the air. No. Because you are feeling very pleasant in your emotions, suddenly air feels vibrant. It always been, you missed it all your life, now you're beginning to feel it.
Okay.
All right? So, whatever human experience, love or hate, whatever, happens only within you. What I'm saying is, at least what happens within you must happen by your choice. Consciously you must be able to make it happen. If you are able to… if your experience of what is happening within you is happening by choice, what is the problem? It only happens within you. Love is not a relationship. A relationship is a different thing. Love is a certain sweetness of your emotion. Whether you look at a tree, or a dog, or a man, or a woman, or a child, or just at the sky, why can't you look at it lovingly? Because it's not about loving the sky, it's about the sweetness of your emotion. If your emotions are sweet, whatever you look at it in a certain way. Right now you have nasty emotions, whatever you look at it in a different way. So you have always associated love with somebody. No, this is not about somebody. Love is not something that you do, it is something that you can become. If you're willing, you can become love, you can make your emotion into a very sweet space. If you make your body very pleasant, it becomes pleasure. If you sit here, it can be great pleasure just sitting here and breathing. This is what we're teaching people. You sit… I will show you millions of people, if they close their eyes, tears of ecstasy will just drip. Nothing, simply close your eyes. Ecstatic they are, bursting every cell in their body. Because body has become so pleasant. If your mind becomes pleasant, we say this is joy. If your emotions become pleasant, we say this is love. If your very life energies become pleasant, we say this is blissfulness, this is ecstasy. If your surroundings become pleasant, we call that success. Now you're calling your success with somebody as love, that's a mistake. You have a success story with somebody, that is, you have created pleasantness in the atmosphere between you and let's say 5–10 people around you. You're calling that love. No, that is actually success, because that needs lots of management.
Yes, it does.
Yes or no?
Yes, it does.
Yes, but for you to be loving, there is no management. If you just make your emotions sweet, your emotions are sweet and it's beautiful to be like this. It's not about anybody. If somebody comes, we can share it. If nobody comes, you can sit here with your eyes closed and still be loving. What's the problem? It is not about somebody, it's not an action. It is not something that you do, it is something that you can become.
It's a lovely, idyllic.
It is not idyllic, it's the way it is.
I mean, you'd really have to practice this.
Why?
Because I'm thinking…
See, this is what exactly I'm saying. If it is an action comes to perfection with practice. Only if it's an action. I'm saying love is not an act. Is health an act? Are you acting healthy right now? I know you're an actor, but are you acting healthy?
No.
So health is, because we
Yes.
have done certain things and health is, isn't it?
Oh, we've not done certain
No,
things,
we have
we've been
definite-
given
No,
health.
no, no, no. Oh, we've been given, but if you eat bad, if you live bad, you won't be healthy. We've done certain things to manage our health. Similarly, if you do certain things, you can manage the pleasantness of your mind. If you do certain other things, you can manage the pleasantness of your emotion. If you do certain other things, you can manage the pleasantness of your very life energies. This is things that you can do. Now, what you can do internally, you're trying to manage externally. What can be done here within you, you're trying to manage by creating an atmosphere around you, which is a very difficult thing to do, because outside will never happen 100% the way you want it. To some extent we can manage. We can't do all of it by ourselves because there are many forces involved.
Namaskaram Sadhguru. You said that depending upon how compulsive we are and as per our karma we attract certain situations, or life arranges itself accordingly. But for an enlightened being who has no karma, what determines the nature of situation he or she gets into or the way life pans out? We have seen you face some of the most challenging situations. What is the mechanics behind this?
The question should be about you. So, whoever told you an enlightened being does not have karma? An enlightened being has immense karma, much, much more than others. Yes. Because without karma, if you're at a certain level of energy, without a certain weightage of karma, you cannot remain grounded. This is why 90% of the time enlightenment and leaving the body happens at the same time. Because if you do not consciously ground yourself with substantial, weighty kind of karma, then you cannot stick to the body. First thing to understand is that karma is not some negative trash. It's only because of karma you are who you are. When we say karma, we're talking about layers and layers of memory which makes you who you are. There is evolutionary memory which makes you a human being. Suppose your body lost its evolutionary memory, well, you may start crawling because you're a human being, not by knowledge, by a huge amount of evolutionary memory invested in every cell in your body, which makes you be human. You have seen when we do certain programs which are connected to getting into or putting our fingers into deep levels of karma like samyama, certain people start crawling, certain people start doing things. This is simply because we are sinking certain things deep inside, it's touching their evolutionary karma and things are happening. Well, there is an immense amount of karma, starting from the evolutionary or even before, the elemental karma is there, we will not go into it, it's too complex. But you understand the evolutionary karma. Let's say, see right now the frogs are happy in the evening for whatever reasons, they're doing quack quack. I don't know who found the connection about kissing the frog and turning them into human beings. All those things, but suppose you lost your evolutionary karma and somewhere around amphibious life, somewhere around a frog, you stopped. After that, what memory you had is gone. Suddenly, you may be a princess, but you will turn into a frog. Yes, because it's this memory which is so invested in every cell in your body, which gives you a human form and a sense of being human being. So who you are, essentially, the shape and form of you is just karma, because it's memory. Like this, there are many levels of it, I will not go into all of it. Now, there is a genetic karma. Because of that, you have a particular kind of nose, a particular kind of, a skin, particular behavioral aspects, certain amount of capabilities and incapabilities. Genetic karma is there. After that, your own stuff is there. Articulate, inarticulate, and now conscious karma. Now, karma is not a negative thing if you know how to use it. But if you do not become conscious enough to use it, then it runs like a software. Let us say there is a software on the computer you use or the phone that you use. I think computers are gone. Only a few people seem to be using computers, everybody is only this. So, phone is a computer in a way. So, whatever software that is on it, well, whatever work you're doing, let's say every 11 seconds, I'm choosing that number intentionally, every 11 seconds you will do boom, boom, doom. Every 11 seconds is good, boom, boom, doom. Believe me, after a few months, you yourself will start doing every 11 seconds, boom, boom, doom. Yes, you will. But the software is only in the phone. But if it keeps on doing it every day, see right now, the chant is going on around the ashram, some of you, why is it going on all the time? But slowly, unknowingly, yoga, yoga that's how it is. We are programming you towards liberation. Many people and you yourself may be programming yourself to bondage. Because a whole lot of people are always trying to build bonds with something or the other, because they think only by tying themselves to something or somebody, they will feel safe. If you have a bond, with age, it becomes bondage. No, I'm just playing with you. But all bonds, unconsciously developed, and unconsciously it exists with you, become bondages. Well, bonds are like, a sailor will throw an anchor in a place so that there, in case there is a small storm, the boat doesn't go away somewhere, so you put an anchor. It's a very good thing if you want to be safe in one place. But you are in a damn boat because you want to sail. So if you keep on putting 5, 10 anchors, obviously you will be safe, but you will never sail. So you have to make up your mind, you want to sail or you want to be safe. So, you have seen me go through all kinds of situations, all kinds I don't know who's asking this question, how does he know what all I go through? Too many things, all kinds of rubbish. Lots of wonderful things also, lots of absolutely wonderful things. But lots of trash also comes my way. Well, what's his name? What's his real name? Nishant. Shashank. So no, Shashank has been very closely around me to see all the nonsense that comes my way. Anyway, if Shashank is well informed because he has access to somebody around me, or he's just reading it in the news, all the nonsense, unfortunately, in the news, only the nonsense they're reporting. All the wonderful things that happens to me, they don't usually report. That's there. So, lots of absolutely wonderful things every day being thrown at me. If nobody throws anything, anyway I sit very wonderful wherever I am. But some trash also comes my way. Well, the trash is coming not simply because when you have nothing to lose and nothing to gain, you can do whatever you want. Either you can go sit in a mountain cave, simply blissed out, or you can get active in the world. You can do many things. You can be somewhat active, somewhat withdrawn, or all out active, depends. What's your choice? My choice has been shaped by the needs in the world, not by my whim. Till I consecrated Dhyanalinga, there was only one intent, because I'm somebody's slave, I don't want to tell you all those terrible things which have been beautiful to me. A man who doesn't even want to touch me with his foot, he touches me with a stick, I served that man for 3 lifetimes. So, that's a terrible story, but with fantastic results. Because I'm result-oriented, I value the result, I don't resent the touch with the stick. Many of you have these issues, that's why I'm telling you. Sadhguru didn't even look my way. He doesn't So, because my activity since Dhyanalinga, till then I was not bothered about anything else, just one thing. I thought that's it and with that I will even end. Because I had not created an intent in my mind as what I will do beyond that. So things collapsed, things happened, whatever, that's all history now, every one of you know it probably. When the body began to collapse very badly, when my basic structure got very badly damaged and became almost like what to say, little crippled, then it became like a challenge, let's see if we can get back. And there were also some absolutely wonderful and dedicated people around me who were willing to give their life if necessary. So for their sake and also as a challenge, if we can really build back the system, we took up certain things and started working, which is another kind of karma. Well, those of you who have seen me since 99, that is 1999, because a whole lot of millennials who do not know there was a 20th century, you know. So in the year 1999, if you had seen me, and today you're seeing me, well, in terms of physical well-being, I'm leaps and bounds ahead of what I was 20 years ago. In 20 years, decline should have happened, but in 20 years, I'm way better than what I was. It's clearly visible in every way. So, once we successfully built back the system, then the question was, okay, what the hell do we do? My long-term dream, you know, that I will ride away across the world. Not a care in the world, simply full tank, open road, gone. That was the dream of that time. Even if my stomach was empty, it didn't matter. Motorcycle tank was full, road was empty, this virus time, this lockdown time, should be really nice to ride. Almost every road is like a racetrack, but I'm not allowed to ride, so So, that dream I thought, shall I revive? But all the people around me, without them, I wouldn't have had the intent to go through that enormous striving that it took of almost 3 years or 3.5 years to build back the system. I wouldn't have had the intent without all these people looking hopefully at me. If I didn't have that, I wouldn't have had the intent to build it back. So then naturally got involved with people, their spiritual process. Then when you went to teach spiritual process, then you saw people are hungry, somebody is sick, nothing happening for them, so we got involved in the social process. Then we saw even if somebody is just about getting enlightened, there is not even a tree in the village, so we started planting trees to a point where people are calling me tree planter. So all this karma. But what do you think? Look at me and tell me, you think this karma is taking a toll on me? Sometimes I might not have slept well, I may look little, but does it look like it's taking a toll on me? Because I want you to understand, all of you, get this straight. The simplest way to deal with all the humongous mountains of karma that you may have, because if you have a Himalayan-sized karmic background, it's very good. That means you have a complex structure. But if this complex structure tortures you and you will use your torture to torture everybody else around you, then it's a disaster. But if you use this complexity, because complexity is needed to come out with very significant solutions. If you have no complexity, usually you're called a simple fellow in England. In India, we call them simpleton. People will have compassion for you, but no passion for you. Yes, it's a sad way to live. So now, if you want to deal with your karma, the simplest thing is, you sit here, absolute dispassion for this one, total passion for everything else. This is all. Right now the problem is people have enormous passion for their life, but they have dispassion for other people's well-being and suffering and whatever is happening. This is why right now the world is saluting the doctors and nurses who are sticking their life out there to work for somebody, because they are showing passion for other lives and dispassion for themselves. This is a sure way of release. So this is all you have to do. You must reverse the equation. Too much passion for yourself, no passion for others, no. Absolute passion for every life around you, total dispassion towards yourself. You don't worry about all this karmic nonsense. You are gone, you are free from this rubbish.
What you just watched wasn't just a video, it was a presence exercise. If you stayed until now, it shows something in you is more awake. Comment on what stayed with you, what message hit you hardest, and share this with someone who also values this kind of conversation. Thanks, a big hug, and see you in the next video.